This is Johnny from eChampions. I'm here with Daughter Knights branch, and we're just putting together a quick podcast following up from the launch event from Leicester down at DMU on Tuesday evening. Daughter, just give us a quick recap through the essential points that you were trying to deliver as a trainer. This is giving some practical advice for the people who are making changes to their websites over Christmas and early into the new year, which a couple of people in particular were doing, weren't they?
Yes. What I was
doing
a case study which we did to give a real life example of how a company, even on a very small budget, if no budget, can make some small changes that will have a really big impact. And the areas we were kind of focusing on and showcasing were increase your traffic, because you can have a great site but if it hasn't got any traffic it's no good. And then we looked at kind of the content. Are you doing a good landing experience? Has it got really strong linear paths? Is it clear where you want people to go, what you want them to do, to make sure the site converts?
Excellent. Well, we've got 4 videos that we've now got ready. They're about sort of 8 to 10 minutes each that are the highlights from the event. First sort of 1 or 2 are me doing the kind of big picture stuff, and if you want to focus in particular on the practical advice that Daughter was giving on the evening, then look at the sort of latter 2, I think, really. I think the sort of other issues for me, we had Bob and Demetrius, who are both professors and heads of department, heads of faculty down at De Montfort. The exciting thing, perhaps compared to what we haven't had from the Nottingham event in the past, is that we've got some real kind of research and academic rigour starting to back up some of the stuff that we're doing. In particular, as an example, Demetrius is working on I don't know how to call this really, but sort of facial recognition and different sort of facial expressions and how they affect people's confidence in buying things and working on videos. So that like quite an interesting piece of research. Also got quite comprehensive facilities down there to allow sort of filming and streaming, which we're going to be looking at. But probably the most exciting one for me at this point is that DMU have got a retina camera research and lab, which effectively allows us to look at how people actually interact with a website. So in effect it's a camera that follows people's eye and looks at the sort of places that they look at on a website. There's a big sort of famous piece of research called Eye Tracker 3, which you can sort of Google and look online, which is used a lot by us to sort of try and demonstrate to businesses how they can change websites for the better and create sort of sweet spots and warm spots, and how they can avoid a lot of their website being actually the frozen wilderness where nobody ever looks at it, interacts with it, clicks on anything, reads on anything. So great to have Bob and Demetrius on board from De Montfort University. Another little thing for me was we had Han van der Braak was there from Alaride, who are looking to develop and sell aloe vera products worldwide. Han, from a sort of clinician background, the sort of big revelation I suppose that Han has had is the importance of video, and he's starting to make a lot of breakthroughs. Where his website previously was littered with stock art, what we mean by that is art that images on your website that are just bought for $1 each or whatever, largely speaking kind of involving models and paid people in effect that don't look very credible. He wants to replace all of that with videos of him talking about the product and talking about the solutions and the sort of problems in people's lives that it alleviates. So leading from that, the big issue for me is that your website shouldn't be all about you. It should be all about solving people's problems. You should look at it from the respect of your customers entirely. You know, they don't give a monkey's uncle about you. They care about their own problems, and that's kind of it, really. Leading from there, very quickly, this idea of Web 2 we talked about at the beginning, and this idea that in Web 1 your websites were all kind of static, basic websites that didn't really have any interaction. In this next phase called Web 2, and has been called that for some time, it's all about the conversation, and the sort of big bugbear that I have and was talking about briefly on Tuesday night was this idea of feedback. You know, how can you get feedback onto your website that will increase customer confidence? Talked briefly about a piece of research from a lingerie site called Fig Leaves, quite a famous one, where they implemented that the year before last, and on any product that they put it on there, they got a 30% increase in sales and in customer confidence. Okay, here's a few little clips from the event.
we are very pleased to be associated with this excellent project, which Johnny Green here is going to give you the information about. We've been involved with Castle College in Nottingham, delivering some university short courses, which led on to the Axis community, which turned out, I think, to be the real key to success, based in Nottingham, which led to a European Social Fund grant, which we're part of the consortium. I'm drawing your attention to all this stuff on the back of this. Do take a leaflet as you go. And what we're doing, actually, I hope, is this evening launching the model that we know has worked very successfully running out of Nottingham from a Leicester focus, because we now want to move this idea of a linked community of small businesses to a wider East Midlands footprint. So that's kind of where I'm coming from.
The take-home message was that it's no longer a one-way street. It used to be like you know, you just give someone information and then it's up to you what to do with this. If you think that that's what your website is all about, that's old hat. That's not the way it's going. People want, you want someone to pick up a telephone. Now, at this moment in time, they come to a website where the website is silent, they can read stuff, and on the basis of that, they don't get any suggestions in respect of navigation. So, well, why don't you just turn left in 200 yards? So they themselves have to work the way up to pick up the telephone and say, right, and then you have interaction. It's a totally different interaction, and one which is, I'm absolutely sure, a lot of people would like. Because if they would come into your real shop, in your real shop, they open the door and they'll see you and say, handsome fellow, and then you come to us, and they come to you. You come to them with a smile and say, oh, he's nice, and then, and that nowadays with technology you can deliver on your website.
We've just been through, give us one each. What would you do? Practical.
The web, one part of linear path. That's number one.
Yeah.
If a browser has to think about where to go, you've got it wrong.
Yeah.
That's about it.
So that's about, think about how someone would arrive and flow through the website and really think about it from their perspective. My sort of closing comment would be, your users don't give a monkey's uncle about you. They couldn't care less. It is about their problems. See everything from their problems. What is their problem? How can you help alleviate that? And people don't do that. Small businesses don't do that.
The web trust checklist thing, the web evaluator, were two really useful tools that you had that came out of the course, which are sort of like, those things you can post, that you can download and go through. I found those really useful to do an initial evaluation. And then the next one, the one I said in my closing course that the content is king bit.
Yeah.
One of the really big learns for me was that from the eye tracker stuff, they did this research about eye tracker, but content beat pictures. And that just blew me away at that stage.
And another key thing actually from this online marketing conference last week is you can now link your Twitter and all your sort of social media to your Google Analytics account, and it can actually show you if it's generating any inquiries, which take this fluffy, does it work, does it not work out of it.
Johnny, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming. We really appreciate it.
Presentation.
Well, thank you. Is he being sarcastic?
No.
Sense of.
It was great. Thanks very much.
I am really impressed. It's a very good presentation.
Yeah,
I quite liked it.
fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm really enthusiastic about it. I mean, I think from a university point of view, it's the sort of thing we should be involved in.
No, overall I thought it was quite a good event. I mean, nobody knows each other, so it was a little bit different experience from the Nottingham one, but at the end everybody was talking and it seemed very positive, and I've already had messages from some of the people that they're signing up and coming back in January's event.
Look forward to kind of working with you if you are Leicester based. Feel free to kind of bring friends along who you know are in business, and let's see if we can turn Leicester into something quite special.